don't where you stay. You got me sitting here going into asking if you good. You been staring at me. Your fake life. I don't give a I don't get out of my face.
So I saw a video about Indians, or several videos about racism from Indians towards blacks, or from Indians towards Indians who are darker skin color than other Indians. Colorism. Guys, we're going to get into that, but please, before we do, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the little bell for notifications. But guys, without further ado, let's just get into it and find out what's going on in the Indian community.
And I'm telling you, people can deny this as much as I'll talk from my own family. They think black people smell. They think black people are always stealing. I'm looking at Lux. They think black people are corrupt. And you know what they say? It's their culture. It's their culture. Constantly that's who they are. And then when something happens, right? Say there's a robbery. 90% is going to be a black person.
Well, that could be true depending on where you go.
Do you know what we call black people? We call them kala. It means black, not in a good way. If someone in your family is dark-skinned, we clown them. We call them kallu. Look at kallu.
If you want to see racism against black Americans, just go into tech. I am an engineer, 3 engineering degrees. If you want to see how people of immigrants treats black Americans, go in tech and go work with Indians.
You know, saying that the Indians are running the tech thing, them and the Chinese.
Sometimes I open my Instagram and I get a DM from someone saying, hi, black cow. I don't really know what to say. They're obsessed with my skin color.
Please tell me y'all have seen this video of the black man walking through his neighborhood and some Indian man approaches him and is demanding that he shows his identification to prove that he lives in the neighborhood.
What's your name?
Anand, can I see your ID or something?
No, I mean, you can call the police or I can call the police. Can I see your ID?
Yeah.
Let me see your ID.
Yeah. Take out your ID and I'll take out my ID.
Let me take out your ID and I'm going to take out my ID.
Okay, let's... can you get my phone? No, let's call the police. Give me your phone, let's call the police.
I'm in my own neighborhood where I live at, working in my neighborhood by my house, and I have this man asking me, do I live here?
Yes.
And what's your name?
Dude.
I'm going to start a civil lawsuit right now. That's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. You got to do it, man. But I want
What's your name, man? Because I'm walking in the neighborhood where I live at, and I'm getting harassed.
No, wait. He's unnecessarily playing us.
But we took my car for
Yes. Bring my phone. I don't have my phone. Get my phone.
Come with me and get the phone.
I will. Get my phone. Because this guy will escape otherwise. Get my phone. Get my phone.
Come with me.
Yes.
He's going back and forth with the man, walking all up into his personal space, calling him a boy. Like, really a boy?
I find it really hypocritical how Indians and South Asians will talk about prejudice they experience by white people and then turn around and take that same discriminatory energy and use it against black people. I know it happens. I grew up hearing it. So let's talk about how you are so eager to fit in that you would rather appease those who oppress you than support other oppressed groups. You know what that smells like? Desperation for acceptance. And the sad part is, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work to blend in, you will still be seen as an other.
Yeah, lying though.
Most of the racism that I've actually experienced since coming to Canada has been from Indians. Unfortunately, that's the reality.
Was there a point of time in your life when you thought that I need to bleach my skin or whiten my skin?
Yeah, I thought many times.
No, Indians were not supposed to be fairer. India receives more than 250 sunny days. So vitamin D is directly absorbed by skin, hence more melanin content, hence the darker skin.
There was time when I was a teenage girl, I could see people girls who were fairer than me, you know, they were treated in a different way. You could see the school teachers or everyone is like, oh, she's so cute, she's so pretty. So that time we feel, okay, I want to be that person. I've been bullied for my skin tone, and that too by my teachers. Yeah, one of my teachers bullied me when I was in class 3rd or 4th. I was just a child, I don't know that I have a dark tone and all.
My friends who are a little darker than me, they sometimes feel that, still that I should put tomato on my skin and this on my skin to become fair. So their self-confidence has been really affected.
You know, this also happens in the Jamaican community where people are bleaching their skin to try and look lighter skin. I remember it all the way back from Vibes Cartel back in the day, and various female artists that used to do the same exact thing.
Colorism is truly a scourge among brown folk. I remember remember experiencing colorism from the earliest moments of my life, and it was the first form of discrimination that I was acutely aware of because it came from my own people. For context, I am the darkest skinned person among my family, among my extended family, and the way having dark skin was phrased was discussed so nonchalantly among my family, among other brown community members, was almost as though being blacker, being browner, was in itself a pejorative. When I was young and I would meet family in India who I had never met before, the first conversation they would have was about where I got my skin tone from. My mom is fair-skinned, her mom is fair-skinned, and both my brother and my dad are brown-skinned. When I was in elementary school and my grandmother would come to visit us in the States, she would stop me from going out to play with other kids in the neighborhood because I was getting too dark. The sun was getting me too dark. When I was in high school and I got into my first long-term relationship with a fair-skinned girl, she very casually told me about the fact that her uncle would refer to me as Kali, and she said it as though it was a funny statement. To them, dark skin is inferior in the same way that the sky is blue. I was in my AP World History class in high school with one of the other few South Indian people within my friend group, and very casually the topic of like, oh, if you could choose any ethnicity to be, what would you be came up, right? And I was thinking, I was about to hear like Polynesian, because Polynesian guys are just buff as fuck for no reason, or like Thai, because Thai food is great. This self-hating fuck was like, I would want to be North Indian. When you are brown, you are taught to hate yourself for one reason or another. And a large reason that I am not friends with brown folk, even though I want to be closer to my culture, even though I would love to be able to pass on my language and my food to my children in the future, is that misery loves company, and I am not miserable.
So Kamala Harris being black is independent of the incredible anti-blackness in Asian communities. So I've posted a number of videos about the anti-blackness that many Asians have. For example, the Indian American community expresses a lot of anti-blackness, which is in some ways tied to colonialism and the colorism inherent in Indian society. But in other ways, it's also about identifying with whiteness. But that is not the only reason that Kamala Harris is black. In the United States, blackness is defined, theoretically as one drop, but inherently as if you could look black. And the state of being black is so contested in American society. And I do agree. That's also why you have such strong community in African American community. She was accepted. Totally agree with that. But even if she didn't identify as black, she'd still be classified as black, because that's how our system works.
Now look, there is plenty to say about Kamala Harris, but attacking her racial background, bruh, that don't make sense. Yeah, her mama Indian, but you know we got a shared history with them, right? Britain colonized India just like they did Africa and the Americas. It took their land, installed their own government, raised their taxes while they worked long hours for little money. Farmers were forced to grow opium and indigo instead of food. Britain forced a famine. They forced poverty. They forced oppression. When Britain ended slavery in 1833, they brought in Indian indentured servants to replace formerly enslaved blacks in their other colonies. Talking about Trinidad, Jamaica, Guyana. They were on the sugar, tea, and rubber plantations. Yes, as indentured servants. Oh, technically it wasn't slavery. They could go back to India usually after 5 years. They made that trek across the Atlantic Ocean, usually in overcrowded ships filled with disease. And they were treated just like slaves were on those plantations. Then in the 1950s, India was fighting for independence from Britain. They wanted to kick Europe out their country just like the rest of the world. In 1959, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. went to India to learn about their resistance, specifically Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence. Gandhi used to write letters to black leaders in America expressing their shared struggle. Hey, look, blackness has a sound, a feel, a history, but it also has a shared struggle with oppressed people all around the world. So worrying about her blackness just may not be the move, because it can look different across time and space. Oh, and her dad Jamaican. Last time I checked, that was black.
And you see how Kamala Harris was acting in the election against Donald Trump. She was trying to be all the way black.
I would not recommend going to Delhi.
Okay. Scratch that off.
Because Delhi is also a great cultural vibe, but the people sometimes are very, and especially because you're black, I'm going to tell you there are racists over there who are very much in your face. Like, I'm not even going to lie. There's my black friend from America had come down. He was from Brooklyn and he was visiting Mumbai and he's queer. So he was like, what are the queer hotspots? So I took him to like a bar and everything. And this is in the most uppity part of Mumbai, right? Where all the influential and affluent people come and drink. Mm-hmm. So we're having a smoke in the balcony and there's a song in India, and pardon my words, but in India, nigahe means eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the eyesight.
Okay.
So So the song has the word "nigaho mein." So he was saying that verbatim on purpose because there was a black guy, and they could say the N word without saying the N word because of the Indian word.
Oh, they try to do that shit?
My blood was just like curdling, not even boiling. It was just like, I'm like, bro, like, and the girl next to him was like, she was pinching, like, shut the fuck up, don't do this. You know, so that also happens. You know?
Okay, so before I started my series, I wanted to tackle this question right here. A lot of Indians don't like black people because if you have a baby with a black guy, they think how dark it will come out. And in my case, this is true. So my family always called me dark growing up. Mind you, I'm not that dark. But my mother is darker than me and my father is lighter than me. So of course, then you get me. But apparently I'm still dark. So when I was pregnant with my son, all my mom would say is how dark my child was going to be. Now, when he was born, when you look at the top of a newborn's earlobe, you'll see what color they're going to be, basically. Their pigmented earlobe basically tells you how dark or how light the child is. So what she said was, he's going to be so dark, look at his ear. I was like, huh? I didn't get it until later that she thought that because of his ear, he's going to be dark. And well, anyway, colorism is a big issue in India. And that could be why they don't really like the intermingling with black people. Now, that being said, my mom did remarry after my parents divorced, and she did marry a white guy. And my sister is half white, so she's super, super bright. So, yeah.
Amount of racism that most Indian people have towards black people.
So this might be a two-parter, but the gentleman that I just stitched is 100% correct. When I came to the US, I was 17 in high school. And as I made friends, especially Indian girls, other Indian girls of my age, I realized that we all were given the same speech by our father, which was, we could not date black guys, we could not date Muslim guys, we could not date white dudes. And I remember the abuse that I received from my father, physical abuse that I received from my father, when he found out that I was dating a Muslim guy. He immediately made me break up with the guy. But in that moment, after, basically beating me, he told me, at least it wasn't a black guy, because your beating would have been worse. Go to part 2.
Ain't nothing new there, man. That's been happening to white women and Indian women since time began, bro.
I just wanted to comment on this video about this Indian couple getting married. The Indian guy is very dark. He's basically my complexion, and his wife is a little fairer than him. And the comments they're getting, it's just like, why is this dark-skinned man with this lighter-skinned woman? It's just like complexion complaints from Indian folks, from their own folks.
जब मैंने लोगों का रिएक्शन देखा, I was in that my family got targeted. You are nobody.
Anytime I see a video that really hits me, I go, man, let me talk about it. First of all, India is they are, when it comes to complexions, listen, every brown society has complexion problems. This all stems from white supremacy and European colonization, European standards of beauty. This is all facts. India was colonized by England. Nigeria colonized by England. England colonized a bunch of Caribbean, France, all of that. So all the European influence made brown people feel like shit. Okay, even in their makeup products, if you go to some of these countries, when I was in Thailand, all the advertisement was light-ass Thai people. Light as fuck. And most of the Thai people are dark brown. It's the same thing in the Philippines, same thing in some parts of Africa, and same thing in parts of Asia. It's insane. It's like even with Bollywood, it's like these Indians be light as fuck, but they still look Indian, which is hilarious. But they're light as hell. That's why I always advise people to watch movies from Telugu. The Telugu movies, that's a different part of India, but you'll actually see brown people. Because the majority of India is brown. So it's nice to see these new Telugu movies like RRR, for example. If you're ever interested, watch RRR and you'll see brown people. Of course, all these different countries are made up of different complexions, but they always put the lighter people in front. There's one called Light and Lovely, I think. It's a bleaching cream in India, Light and Lovely. I think it's Light and Lovely, I think. If I'm wrong, let me know. But it's they have that on the shelf fucking Vaseline. They buy that Light and Lovely. In Nigeria, they had Ambi. I think it's still there. But a lot of lightening creams are in a lot of these countries, even in America, and it's pretty fucked up. And I heard that a lot of these lightening creams cause cancer and like that. So for those of you who are lightening your skin, I don't want anything good to happen to you. Be yourself. Now, this is not me wanting people to die of anything, but you deserve to be poisoned because you already are poisoning yourself with your negative thoughts and ashamed of what you look like. Listen,
I don't know about that. I don't think anyone deserves to get poisoned. I just think people need to have more self-esteem and just be grateful and happy with the person that they are, the way God created them.
and I understand as a dark-skinned man, I understand people make fun of you. They do this, all this other. Yeah, it happened to me as a kid, but thank God I had strong Nigerian parents where dark skin is normal. It's okay. Being dark is great, all right? Be who you are. You understand what I'm saying? And I remember when light-skinned black folks would make fun of me. Yes, light-skinned black people say, you know, they call you black this, black that, dark this, dark this, but all my light-skinned friends look like now. That light skin doesn't hold up too long. Listen, it's a joke, but it's a joke though. But anyway, all complexions are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And that couple look great. And it's a shame that really India has a real serious complexion problem, and it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that out. So be proud of who you are. And all you dark folk out there, you're still dope. You're still amazing. And I know, listen, it gets really bad because even in the NBA, I think the NBA is very light-skinned now. The NBA is very light-skinned. It used to be darker back in the day. You look in the 80s and 90s, way more darker dudes. But now it's very light-skinned. That's probably why they don't play defense, because if you foul one of these light-skinned dudes, they'll bruise easy. You know what I mean? And you know, and I think this is an example. I think the reason why the NBA is so light-skinned, because you had a lot of insecure dark-skinned basketball players in the past, so they made sure they got with either really light-skinned women or white women to make sure their children didn't have to suffer later on. That's just a social theory, everybody. Hey man, I'm out of here.
So as a Guyanese West Indian woman, I actually just wanted to add my 2 cents on this because growing up back home, my family was one of 2 Indian families in a predominant black village. And we were always taught to, you know, respect our elders, regardless of the skin tone. You respect everyone around you. You know, my best friends were black. We went to school with everyone who were black. And I don't think my grandpa even really knew why he did not want, like, you were allowed to be besties. His best friends were black. Our neighbors were black. You know, when we kill our animals for Christmas time, we don't feed half the village. But he always used to preach, like, you never marry a black person. And I don't think we really truly knew why we felt that way. Obviously now looking back, slavery, because we were the lighter skinned slaves, you know, the slaves that came from Africa were meant to feel that we were superior to them because of our skin tone. But a slave is a slave is a slave is a slave. And all of my aunts and uncles later went on to marry a black man or woman. And so all my cousins are, you know, biracial or Dougla for the Guyanese people. That's what we called a biracial person. You're a Dougla. And so I don't think he fully knew why he was supposed to feel that way, but he did. And I mean, like I said, all of my cousins are mixed, except for me. My mom married a Guyanese Indian person. So, you know, but I mean, even as a Guyanese Indian person, I'm like 12% black. So the mixture happened, whether we liked it or not. But it was just interesting for me because I never felt like it was racially profiling back home. You know, we break bread with them. We invite everyone over. We have parties. We sit down. We congregate with them. We go to their weddings. They come to our weddings. Like, you know, we were very much immersed in each other's cultures. And so it never felt like the North American version of racially profiling someone or racism. It never felt that way. But of course, you know, it's obviously still a version of that to say that you can be best friends with them and, you know, we can grow up our entire lives with them. But, oh, you can't marry that person because they're black. I don't think it ever really had anything to do with, you know, your skin tone. Because especially in Guyana, like, it's a Caribbean country. It's very hot. Everyone have some level of melatonin going on. I think we just have to thank slavery for that. You know, thank the white people for conditioning us and putting us to fight against each other, because even to this day, the Black and the Indians are fighting and we don't know what the fuck we're fighting for. But it's just interesting, you know, South American versus North America, how you look at things. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, that's all I've got for you in this video, guys. I hope you like this kind of content. If you do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications, and I will see you in the very next video. Oh, just remember, Jesus loves you no matter what color you are.